Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and look at this. The U.S. added slightly softer than expected 142,000 jobs in August, but sizable downward revisions to July. You ever notice there's never any upward revisions? That's because they lie, then they have to revise the lie. They lie to make everybody think a certain way, then later on the lie is exposed and nobody gets punished. Here's a mega Bitcoin maxi talking about World War Bitcoin.
Everyone comes to Bitcoin eventually. You get it at the price you deserve. Everything goes to zero against Bitcoin. Okay, Donald Trump's learning curve on Bitcoin just started. And, he's like a lot of people who come to Bitcoin and said, I just found Bitcoin. Here's how you improve it. No, you are second to Bitcoin. You will have to bend the knee to Bitcoin, just like everybody else. Bitcoin is on its own vector.
What does the United States or the president that is in the election have to do, to bend the knee?
He has to make Bitcoin legal tender. He has to start putting Bitcoin on the treasury of the U.S. government, and he has to start in the Bitcoin global hash war. Every country is not going to be adding Bitcoin to the reserve status to compete in the global hash war in the 21st century. That's World War Bitcoin. You have to have Bitcoin. It's a mad scramble to get more Bitcoin because the fiat money world is collapsing. So if you want to win World War Bitcoin, you need to start accumulating and hoarding and buying and stacking Bitcoin aggressively as soon as possible. And that's hopefully the U.S. is already far behind. I wish them luck.
So according to Max Kaiser, this is the future of finance. I still am not buying it. Using electricity that you don't even have to use because more advanced blockchains don't require it. That's the future of finance. Is that how you picture the future of finance? I do not. I think it's a joke. Now, look at this. Bitrue tweeted this yesterday. Study XRP. Exchanges know something is coming. The coordination. Bitrue has been friends of Ripple for a long time, by the way. Oh, well, all I can say here is that, well, first of all, you could put this in the All the World's a Stage file, or maybe Chris Larson is just, maybe liberalism is his religion and he just can't bring himself to vote for Donald Trump, even if everything that Donald Trump's saying is in his best interest and everything Kamala Harris is saying and planning to do is not in his best interest. For whatever reason, apparently co-founder of Ripple is endorsing Kamala Harris. And I said, so now we're going to vote for the person that's considering Gary Gensler to be the U.S. Treasury Secretary, not this digital asset investor. And that is the fact, Jack. This is great right here. This is Elizabeth Warren now has to acknowledge John Deaton. And I want you to listen to this clip of her. Nowhere in this clip does she express even the least of concern for people that live in Massachusetts, her voters. The only thing that she's threatened by about John Deaton is that if she loses her, it's like she's warning all the Democrats, if I lose my seat, we lose all of this power. It has nothing to do with the issues that matter to the voters in Massachusetts. Listen to this. This is surreal.
The fact that he wants to replace you, I don't mean this facetiously. Obviously, you want to win. What's wrong with John Deaton and John Deaton's politics? And by the way, he says he didn't vote for Trump. He's not going to vote for Trump this time, but go ahead.
So let's start with how he got to be the Republican nominee, right? He's down in Rhode Island. 3, maybe 4 crypto billionaires recruit him to run for the Republican nomination. He moves over to Massachusetts, and they put...
She doesn't want to say anything about the billionaires that support her.
$2.5 million.
George Soros, maybe?
Into ads to get him the Republican nomination. The other 2 Republicans didn't have that kind of money. So now he's got that seat, and now the crypto billionaires are hoping maybe they'll have a chance to pick me.
What about the fascist communist billionaires that are backing you?
off, and that means that they will get rid of someone who is not always on board with the things that they want to be able to do.
Is that your only concern about
So
this
I was just going to say,
Listen to how freaked out she is about the Democrats losing power. That's what it's really about.
but here's the deal. I get what the crypto billionaires are trying to do here, but understand, if they get John Deaton elected, the consequence of that will be in a 50-50 Senate that the Republicans take control. And Republican control means, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 Supreme Court nominees that come up next will have to be Republican approved. It means that
Is this really going to be her platform? Because I don't think Massachusetts voters, I think they're a little more concerned about a bunch of illegal immigrants flooding into and them having to support them in their state and the issues that actually matter to them. These are issues that matter to her and her party.
Republican efforts in the House and the Senate to have a nationwide abortion ban will have new life. It means cuts to Medicare and Social Security will be back on the table. And it means that billionaires will get even more tax cuts.
So you discount what he said, I think, on election night. I read somewhere that he's open to voting for a leader of either party. He hasn't made up his mind yet. What's your reaction to
Look,
that?
once you caucus with a party, which is what happens at the beginning, you declare in a 50-50 Senate, that is the party that becomes the majority. And that determines whether Chuck Schumer or Mitch McConnell is the leader of the Senate. That determines who is every single chair of every single committee. That determines who controls what votes come to the floor and what votes don't come to the floor. That is the person who determines what Supreme Court nominees, what Court of Appeals nominees, what District Court nominees move forward and what don't. So understand, in a 50-50 Senate, which is what we have, we lose 1 seat as Democrats and the Republicans take over, and we've lost it all.
Hasn't challenged him on one of the issues that he's talking about. All John Deaton's talking about are issues. She's talking about maintaining power for herself. This is an interesting tweet from Elizabeth Warren, by the way. Average American pays $140 just to file their taxes each year, while giant tax prep companies rake in billions. But it doesn't have to be this way. Next year, the IRS is launching a pilot program to give many taxpayers an option to file for free directly with the government. And guess what? Meta Lawman's right over the target. He says the IRS program is the brainchild of famous Stanford law professor Joseph Bankman, who is known for raising an even more famous offspring, Sam Bankman-Fried. Joe Bankman has collaborated directly with Senator Warren for years on tax policy. Wonder why she left that part out. Wonder why she's not concerned about Joe Bankman and his wife going to prison. That's what I wonder. Just like she's not too concerned about the Epstein, the people that victimized all those young women, and Jeffrey Epstein stuff. Oop, I'm not supposed to say that out here. All right, Ripple is in Japan. They've been in Korea and Japan this week. Great to meet. This is, I think he's the CEO of, is it SBI Ripple Asia? I don't remember. Anyway, Japan's leaders committed to crypto, There's a bunch of different pictures from Ripple X that they've put out. This is Brad Garlinghouse, Monica Long, Eric Van Miltenberg on stage. Then we've got, there's Snakey. Snakey is the official first commenter in just about every tweet I've ever done. And he was there, and he also did a lot of filming at XRP Las Vegas 2023 and 2024. Here's Ripple X, CEO of SBI VC Trade. Is that the same guy? Yeah, I think, well, maybe not. CEO of SBI Ripple Asia, I think that's the guy. Share SBI's history of utilizing XRPL technology through SBI Remit, NFTs, upcoming Osaka World Expo 2025, payments through SBI Esports. SBI is a massive operation. Then here's Brad Garlinghouse in the crowd taking pictures with everybody and being willing to be silly. So there's some cool pictures. Let me see. I think we got some more. Here's this is the Tokyo event as well, XRP community event. There's the inside of it. And then we have, let's see. Here's Brad Garlinghouse doing an intro.
Hello, Tokyo. It is great to be here in Tokyo. It's great to have a full house. We have been on the road this week, but it's certainly been an exciting week. It really is an honor to be here. So many of the people in this room are what makes the heart and soul of the XRP community. We've got developers, we have holders, we have those who are passionate about the regulation. But more than anything, this community has been one of the largest and longest standing of the entire globe in terms of leaning into the XRP ledger and XRP more broadly. So we wouldn't be here without you. The XRP ledger wouldn't be the same without all of you. So thank you very, very much. So I'm going to be handing over the microphone in a minute or two to a man who certainly needs no introduction, David Schwartz, which I'm excited to hear what he is going to share with you. We're also going to hear from key executives from SBI. And SBI, as I think many of you know, has been one of the longest standing supporters here in Japan of Ripple and certainly what's going on in the XRP community. We're going to hear from Kirin Labs, as well as a number of other key developers, kind of long-term advocates. So super excited that everyone is here together and we can learn from each other. And certainly, I'm sure that I'm going to learn something. All of you truly have been instrumental to where we have gotten today, and your work has not gone unnoticed by me and I think many of the people in this room. Later on today, Monica Long, the president of Ripple, and Eric Van Miltenberg, the senior vice president at Ripple, we will take the stage and do kind of a fireside chat and talk about some of the history of Ripple and how we got here. All right, with that, I am going to step off the stage. The show does go on. I'm looking forward to being back up here later on. And again, thank you so much. Thave you, Tokyo. Thank you for all you have done for the XRP ledger.
That is the XRP Japan Takeover. Now, there is a video where it's got all of the, it's got Brad Garlinghouse, Monica Long, Eric Van Miltenberg. I'm going to do this. I'm going to cover this one in the next. My next video. I'll play some of these clips. But in DAIXRP.com, here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about corruption. We're going to talk about election interference, but it's not outside election interference. It's inside election interference. And we're going to show you where people are calling out what they're trying to do right now. And the bad guys they're up to a lot right now. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.